Leslie, Mike, good seeing you both again. I know it's been what, it's been quite some time now. I think it was back in November. I think last time we saw each
November.
other. So it's quite a bit, and definitely a lot has changed since then. So just want to kind of get back together and see how you guys are doing, and then actually just have a conversation about your experience in purchasing in Medellin, and then obviously utilizing our company to purchase your home in Colombia. So first question is like how what made you choose Medellin, and what made you decide to visit and explore that as a possible option and destination for your journey?
How about I
Well,
start?
okay, go ahead.
Okay, we initially did a bunch of research about great places to retire. And we had a spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet had weather and culture and cost of living and ease of immigration and language. We knew wherever we moved, we were going to want to learn the language, and we were definitely leaning towards Spanish. So several countries came to the top of the pile, and Colombia was one of them, in particular Medellin, and we were prejudiced because of the old ways
Right.
and
Yeah.
the old reputation.
But as time went on, we kept hearing more and more about Medellin, and everyone who came to Colombia came back loving it. And we planned a trip there. And in the back of our minds, we were looking for a second home. And when we got to Medellin, we fell in love immediately. It had checked all the boxes that we looked for. We were looking for a place to live: the culture, the music. Lots of international food is available. It's beautiful. The terrain is lovely. People are friendly, and we felt good about it and started looking for properties.
But I think there's some irony here because, so we're living in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico, and we love it. It won the contest, and when we got here, we stopped looking. And for the first year and a half, it was a very safe place to live. And then the crime statistics started mounting. Now, in general, they were not perpetrated against people like us, but they were happening.
Yeah.
And so the irony is that it was actually the murder statistics around here that reawoke me to go back and look at the past data that we had gathered. And then Medellin came to the top, and we found out, well, those days are gone.
Right.
There's city crime, like pickpocketing, but those days are gone. And so there was kind of a switcheroo regarding the whole safety, reality and perception.
No, yeah, I think even for myself, I mean, when I first went over there, I think you go in with that kind of that prejudice, or that what you see on TV and when you see in the movies, and you think that's still going on, and you don't realize that was over 2 decades ago, and it's been quite some time. And then obviously the type of kind of the growth within the city, not only within the technology but innovation, infrastructure. I mean, it's definitely changed a lot. And then you take into account obviously the social aspect, and obviously you look into how the crime has definitely improved. The crime rates have definitely gone down. Just a totally different vision, and what you see on TV and in the entertainment world is nothing to what is the reality there, right? So I think that's one that for our job, like for us, I think working internationally is kind of getting rid of those prejudices, and trying to explain to people and show them the beauty of the city, the weather, the people, the foods, the infrastructure, the opportunities, the investment opportunities as well. And that's kind of one of the key aspects of what I try to do is that. And I'm glad that, and you guys actually did quite a bit of research before that, just even going to visit, so that definitely helped you out a lot. But we get quite a few people that do visit, and they're astonished because they didn't do the research, and they just kind of go just to kind of see how it is, and then they finally realize, like, wow, it's totally different. I mean, it's definitely won the innovation awards and all types of awards, global awards. So a lot to look into. And then you take into account what they've done even with this situation, you know, the whole COVID crisis, and they're leading in the globe regarding that as well. I mean, they've definitely locked down the city as far as controlling the spread of the virus. I mean, it's definitely a lot to look into when you're looking into Colombia, specifically Medellin.
The other thing that was very attractive was the medical infrastructure there, and
Absolutely, yes.
like 6 of the top 10 hospitals in South America are in Medellin.
Yep.
And, you know, as older folks, you know, that's important to us that there be good medical infrastructure.
No,
Also,
absolutely.
the contrast between Medellin and San Miguel. We still love it here. We're not planning on getting rid of our house here. We want to have 2 homes.
Yeah.
This is a small, old-fashioned town. Medellin is large and bustling and very modern.
Yep. So let me ask you this. So once you got to Medellin, you explored it, you fell in love. How was your search process? Because I know initially you were looking to rent, and then you kind of just you know, decided to eventually buy. How was your initial search process? And then obviously you can explain our story and how we kind of met. But definitely, yeah, share that with us. How was that?
Do you remember how we started?
I think we just started looking online.
Yeah.
Yeah, we skipped the rental stage and just we were looking for a purchase property.
Well, we were looking for anything, and there wasn't a lot. There weren't good websites, and then there were a few, you know, that were good-looking websites. And then I would contact the alleged listing person and either not get an answer or get an answer much later than I'm comfortable.
We walked around some neighborhoods that we liked and looked for signs in the windows, you know, for sale, for rent, and called those numbers, but the response rate was not very high.
And that was just like throwing a dart.
Yeah.
You know, we had done a little bit of research. We found this little survey about pick your ideal, most appropriate neighborhood. And in that survey, it came out Envigado. And in fact, because of that survey and other research we had done, we were a little bit, I probably more than Mike was a little bit prejudiced about a Poblado because I thought it was going to be too touristy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you hear the rumors and you read reviews and you read blogs, and someone says Poblado and this image comes to mind of the, you know, the big park there and all the bars and the, you know, loud, raucous restaurants and noisy streets, but Poblado is a big area, and there's a lot of different neighborhoods in Poblado of different characters. And as you know, the one where we ended up was very residential and peaceful and tranquil. And
you also know that we wouldn't have gone there if you had not suggested it.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, and it's funny. So I'll go ahead and tell the story. We were outside of the Airbnb, and for some reason, and kind of relates to this, like the guard had locked the door, and he might have been using the bathroom, but he took quite some time, and actually gave me and I wasn't even looking for an opportunity. I was just, you know, saying hi, and then we kind of talked a little bit, and then, you know, coincidentally, like I was like, hey, yeah, you know, I'm in real estate, and here's my card, and I know we communicated that night, and I sent you some options, and then that kind of took off from there. And then I remember initially we were looking at you know, areas like Laureles and similar to where we were staying, and then eventually I think not only the options were maybe a little better towards the south, and we looked at a couple in Envigado, and then we finally found the penthouse that you eventually purchased, which is actually a good location because it's right at the border of Envigado and Poblados, and close to, I know you guys had some requisites that you needed public transportation nearby. There's obviously the green area. There's a nice little park in front. But I think definitely like finding that location was key, right? The location is first, and then combining the location with the property, it can be challenging, but we were able to do it. I mean, I think, you know, I know that there's definitely some work that you're doing to the apartment now, but talk to me about like what happened when we found the penthouse and you actually saw it, you saw the view. Let us know how that feeling. Let's relive that. I know it's been a while, but let's try to relive that again and how that was.
Well, we just, you know, we were after looking around Medellín, you know, we decided that if we're going to live there, we should have a view, because that's the views there are spectacular, you know, and there's so many opportunities for great vistas that, you know, if we're going to put the time and effort and resources into living there, let's have a view. So we walked into that condo that you found for us, and it's the first thing you see when you walk in the door is the at your feet, you know, and that was lovely. And then yes, the location close to the two different metro stations, and we're both theater and music people, and in that park that's right across the street from the building is a theater.
Yeah.
And we went and met the directors at both of those institutions and had chats with them, and it just seemed like it was meant to be, you know, because if we not just go to a lot of theater and music, we might end up collaborating with those people.
Absolutely.
Well, I also want to say that between the two of us, I'm the one who's a little more impulsive. And we walked out of that building and Mike said, let's make an offer.
Yep. I remember we were walking down, I forgot, we were walking to, I can't remember, we were walking somewhere and we were walking down the road, and I remember I didn't even ask. I was just thinking about, all right, which other ones are we going to go see? And then Mike just like, all right, you know, can we get an offer in? I was like, oh, okay.
And that is one reason why we love you. We never would have known about that property.
Yeah.
We never, I mean, it wasn't online. We didn't run into it out in our walks. You have connections. You know?
And we appreciate your style. You know, we were immediately comfortable with you. There was no hard sell. We met with one or two real estate agents in Medellín, and we just, you know, we didn't feel comfortable with them. They were salesmen. You know, you're stereotypical salesman, and we never got that feeling from you at all. This is your business. You could help us. You offered to help us. There was no hard sell in any direction, and your response time was immediate, which is impressive in Latin America and South America.
No, yeah.
You're laid back, and yet you're very quick on the follow through. And you were very adaptable, because every apartment that we saw, we changed our needs and opinions, and you continued to adapt.
Right.
And you were able to extrapolate and actually look forward and, for example, turn us onto an apartment that we never even would have thought of.
Yeah, no, and I think one of the keys is bringing, I think it's a different style, right? It's a style more seen in the U.S., that you build that relationship with, you know, usually when you have a realtor and that's the person you utilize, you kind of keep that person throughout, you know, your purchases, right? If that's the kind of the road you go. And I think that's a key difference. And I think it may just be that it's not really professionalized in Colombia as of yet. So I think that's key for myself, and definitely for our other agents, is to bring that empathy, right? To understand, like, hey, this is not just you're not selling a car, you're not selling anything else. People are investing, you know, a lot of money, and you need to take that into account. You need to treat it with the respect that it needs too, right? You want to make sure that you understand what the process, that you understand that it's a big decision. And I think that's key for myself, and that's definitely something that I look for my agents, to make sure that hey, you know, like, this is not just another sale. Don't think about, hey, how much am I going to make here? Another thing, we brought that price quite a bit down, and that's key. You know, that's something that you don't really see. You know, you're not really, you know, that's commission that's being taken away, but you're not thinking about that. You want to make sure you get the best sale for your client, and you're putting yourself in the position of that client. So yeah, no, definitely, and I appreciate that.
Credit for that, because that was your encouragement that we brought the offer down.
Yeah, no.
The opportunities and the logic that we could present to offer a lower price, and we ended up getting it for that. So
absolutely.
Living in Mexico, we're used to the world of customer service being a different experience than in the United States, and we're mostly very accepting of it. But it doesn't mean we don't miss it. You know?
Yeah.
And I really felt like we got some good, solid USA service. And you being bilingual, and yet you've hung out down there enough where you've assimilated. You're the best of both worlds.
No, thank you. No, I appreciate that. So now, like, and just to kind of finish this out, don't want to take any more of your time, but just so now you're remodeling, you're looking at doing some changes to the house. I know there's definitely been some challenges there, and how's that process going? And just talk to me about even just like what your perspective is from, obviously all throughout this, and how soon would you finally want to go back to visit your place and finally spend some time there?
Well, we were planning on being there about a week after the Colombian government closed down the borders to non-nationals, non-Colombian nationals. So we would be there now if it were that choice. So we've continued to work with the designers that we found. As you know, the condos, it's almost move-in ready. It's brand new. It's never been in. And they had never finished out the master bath, and we wanted to move a few walls and do some things that were customized for us. So we're very close to finishing the design work on that, and we're very close to that. We're told that they will be allowed to start construction very soon in the next few weeks in the building. So we'll start work soon. When we can come down there,
yeah, we don't know yet.
Yeah. And we haven't mentioned that because of our positive experience with you in the purchase situation, you are now our property manager. You and your
right,
team.
yeah.
And there's a chance, because you've indicated you'll be going down there possibly before us, we may be requesting some assistance regarding looking at some of these finishes, because we'll be able to check them out on the internet, but it's really got some eyes. So that could be on the horizon for you.
No, definitely. And I appreciate you guys keeping me, kind of in the loop with all this. It's fun, just to kind of see the changes and see what you guys are doing. Definitely some incredible designs that you've definitely been able to kind of progressively add your touches to, which you can definitely tell with the involvement of that design. But yeah, no, we definitely, we weren't looking really into property management, and you guys were kind of our first client to kind of do that, and we're definitely setting up the structure to do that, and we'll definitely keep helping. But like I said, it's more about building relationships, keeping these relationships going, and not only throughout the purchase process or even this the remodeling process, but throughout the future, and hopefully we'll be able to one day sit down and have lunch again or dinner and talk about all this a lot more. But I appreciate the time. Thank you for doing this. Us at GIC, we definitely appreciate it for choosing us and for trusting us for your purchase. Thanks a lot, Mike, Leslie. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for all your excellent work. We appreciate it.